Okay, so we're back here in the house. It's 2 weeks later, exactly 2 weeks later. So if you remember last time I put a bait station on here where there's activity on the skirting board near the stairs, and I also put a bait outside where the termites were coming up there. So that was just one of the entry points. If you remember back, I said it's very difficult to get them feeding on bait in an area if you bait where they're not feeding, and sure enough I've checked the bait outside and there's nothing happening there at all. It's just hasn't been touched, so I've just bypassed that for the simple fact that that's not where they're feeding, so they'll just coming up through there and coming up here. So we've opened this up, I've taken the screws off this, so we're just going to have a look inside and hopefully we're going to find a lot of feeding in here and some termites for you to have a look at. So well, just hopefully this was alright, so we'll get Bradley to move a bit closer, we'll open it up and let's see what we've got inside here. Okay, so this was packed full of white bait, and as you can see some termites in there roaming around. So they've pretty much eaten all of this out. So there's just nothing really left in there. That's just all of their mud in there. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to close that up. And I'll come back in and I'll rebait that. So we'll go out into the living room and we'll have a look at the bait under the stairs and see what's happening there as well. But that's a great result. This is only 2 weeks, sometimes we leave it 4, but this is a particularly aggressive species and they have taken hold of the house quite remarkably. So I did only want to leave it 2 weeks, and I'm glad I did, because if we come back in 4 weeks, the termites might have abandoned this because there wasn't any food, and then we would have had to have coaxed them back out again. So let's go into the other room, we'll have a look now. Okay, so this is where we also put it on the skirting board, where we found that it was all a little bit hollow along here. So let's have a look and see what we've got in here. I'll just undo these screws a bit more and have a look. Okay, so it's looking all right as well. So that's excellent. So you can see the termites in here. So this is the soldier termite. We can see if he's not too shy. And he's quite an aggressive one. He's keeps attacking it there. And here's another one here. So there are workers and there are soldiers in there. So the colony certainly hasn't declined yet. But after eating all of that bait and the one in the other room, then we can say that the colony, we really do have control of the colony at this stage. So it's just great. So we're just going to rebait those. I won't touch the bait outside. We'll just leave it there. And then we'll come back and, well, we don't want to leave it any more than 2 weeks as well, so we'll come back then. So we'll just bait that again. Okay, so I've made up some more bait and we're going to fill this up, give them some more yummy stuff to have. Looks a bit messy, and it's also worth pointing out that I do wear, am wearing gloves, because not so much to protect me from the bait, but protect the bait from me, because termites can be very finicky, and if they taste perhaps the oil on your hands or any food from lunch that you might have had, or even soap if you've cleaned them, then they can abandon it and just not take to it at all. So it's very important that we use the water that's from here, the local water, and it's all clean and free from any contaminants. So you can see that they have eaten quite a bit because I've put a fair bit in there. So we'll just lock that up. It might seem a little bit disruptive throwing all that bait on top of them, but now that they've had a taste of the bait, they really don't want to eat anything else. So it'll just go straight on top of their heads and they'll go, oh, what's all that? And they'll get in their mouths and they'll go, beauty, here's some more. Okay, so I'll fill out the one out there, no need for you to see that, that's going to be exactly the same. As I said, we're going to come back in 2 weeks, but look, if the termites can eat through this much bait in 2 weeks, they can certainly eat through that amount of timber. So, as I say, this is a very voracious species of termite, the Coptotermes. So we won't even touch the bait outside, as I said, we're just going to concentrate inside. So as long as they're really feeding on one bait station, then I'm happy. And this is a single nesting termite, so only the one queen. So we'll come back in 2 weeks and we'll feed them again. But this is a great result for us, and it's a great result for the homeowner, because it means The eradication is going to happen quite soon because the weather's warming up, and then metabolism speeds up as well. So probably get a good result. Hard to really say, but sort of within about another 2 checks, I'd say, then the owner can get in doing all the clean-up and any repairs that need doing. So, okay, and that's all about the baiting. But look, it is a specialised job, so please get a professional pest controller to do your baiting. I think there are some do-it-yourself kits out there, but honestly, you want someone to take responsibility for your house. And us here at Sanctuary Pest Management, we really take it seriously, and we don't rest until the termites are sorted out. That's why if you get a baiting system done or you get a termite treatment done, just be prepared that you will have a relationship with your pest controller, a professional one I hope, but a relationship nonetheless. But you really need to be comfortable in the pest controller coming out and doing these checks. The owners doesn't live on site, so we need to pick up keys from real estate agents and things like that. So it is a very involved process, and we need to be on the ball and make sure that we visit on time every time and do the job properly. Okay, so thanks very much for listening, and if you need any help, please give us a call.